Hey guys, what's up? Tanner Flowers here, and we're just now finishing up another brand new crawl space encapsulation. And what I'm getting ready to do is actually build a brand new crawl entry for this home. Right now, let me flip this camera around and show you exactly what we're dealing with. Here we go. So what they've got right now is this old metal door. It's got a metal frames kind of mortared in here. If you look close, it's got a old mortar anchor screw right here, but this thing has never sealed properly. They had been having mice enter in through here before we'd even started the encapsulation work, which I'll be doing a video of once I finish this later today. But I'm going to be removing this, and not sure what we're going to do with that exposed hollow block at the moment. Still got to trim all that out at the entry with the poly from the inside, and probably going to be removing this metal frame here, framing all that in with treated wood. And anyway, I'll post an update later. So here is a before shot once again of the crawl space entry we are getting ready to redo. They've got this metal frame welded in, looks like at every corner, and I'm probably going to attempt to leave this top bracket here. I'm trying to remove these side beams. Really, once I get these side beams out of the way, I can get everything in place. So I'm trying to cut this out right now with a side angle grinder. Let's see if we can. Okay, just got this frame down, as you might have already imagined. When I was tapping to get this out, knocked these 3 rocks loose. Once I get this back in place, though, I'll layer that down heavily with some heavy-duty liquid nail. Those will never come back out again. So, anyways, I'll update you guys again here shortly. Whew, boy, this thing's turned into a project. You guys are seeing me do right now is I'm trying to cut these old lips off. They're going to be in the way once I do what I'm planning on doing. So one side down, one to go. Okay, I've just now finished grinding off both of those sides that I needed to grind off, and I grinded off that old handle that was right here in the middle. What I'm trying to do is make sure that everything's still going to be in position perfectly the way it was, which it is going to be. And let me go ahead and start brushing this block off. Make sure this is clean and ready before I put any of that liquid nail up here. The cleaner the surface area is, anytime you're installing anything that has to have an adhesive of any kind for that matter, the cleaner you can get that surface, the better that adhesive is going to react to that surface, and the better securement you're going to have to whatever it is that you're trying to secure. So nice and dry too. You also don't want to be applying this stuff if it's wet. So always try to have it clean and dry before you start doing any of your adhesive application. Also wanted to show you real quick, I've got a lot of excess mortar in here that I've been going through here, and been chiseling it off. I'll have to get all this out before I go in and build this wooden frame here momentarily. Let me finish chiseling that. Okay, pretty much about gotten everything cleaned off now. Let me go ahead and give you guys a look at this. So I've gotten all that excess mortar that was in these corners and behind that rock layer. You know, if you were seeing here, if you were to look at it from this point of view, you can notice that rock is coming out from this block over an inch. And you see I've got all that mortar clean there. Got the mortar clean over here. Pretty much got an area that I can now work with. It's taken me over an hour just to get all that metal out of here and to get all this prep work done just to be able to start. So here we go. I always like to start with the bottom board first. So I'm going to go ahead and take that measurement now and see what length I'm going to need to cut this bottom frame board. I'm going to go ahead and cut that about 36.5. I like for them to be a little bit tight. May even try to go just a hair past it. Before I ever start making any of my cuts, I like to be sure that the ends are in square. I'm going to be using the big Swanson 12-inch square today. Yeah, that's nice there. So once you make sure that's in square, if I can find where I put the tape measure at here, we'll go ahead and pull this out 36 inches and get to work. Okay guys, once you got your tape measure out in position, remember I wanted this 36.5 or just a little bit past it. So let's see here. I may make my line just about right there. Here we go. We're going to run with that. Then you're going to take your Swanson 12-inch square. Make sure your line's perfect. Show you guys a little trick you can do with a speed square. Some of you don't know. You can kind of take your blade. Some of you may already know this information, so go ahead and hold it up at an angle. Make it a spot where it needs to be there. So all I did was just make a little spot right there at the start of my line. Then I'm going to come back, go ahead and line that blade back up in that same exact spot, which is right there. I'm going to hold my square right here firmly in place, right next to that. Watch this, guys. Perfect cut every time. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to show you something I always like to do on this bottom hollow block before I start. You always want to make sure that you're using a waterproof and weatherproof adhesive. I love using this liquid nails, heavy duty. I mean, guys, this stuff will hold pretty much anything, including your fingers, and it has been known to rip my skin off. So let me get this tube ready. And what I'm getting ready to be doing next is I'm going to put a bead pretty much down over the top of all this hollow block. I'll be back with you in just a second. I like to put it pretty heavy in the corners, guys. You got to think, doing what I do for a living, dealing with a lot of these crawl space entries, a lot of these things are pretty low to the ground, and you want to make sure you've got a good, thick, solid bead of this to also help prevent any water that may ever come up, like right here at this bottom point. This will help ensure that that does not come inside or underneath your wood here in a second. So let me go ahead and finish getting all this layered out. And there is one full tube down just on this bottom layer of block here that I'm getting ready to attempt to put our 36.5 inch piece that we cut in place. See if we can get it in here. Uh-oh, there we go. Alright, probably going to have to tap this in here in a second, guys. We'll see how it goes. And I always like to be sure to use a plastic or rubber hammer. You start using any of your regular hammers, starting beating on this wood, and it's going to be ruined. So, come on, baby. Work with me a little bit here. Might have known. Cut it too big. Beat it in too tight. Can't even get it back out. Way to go, Tanner. All right. Well, I hated to have to do that right there. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right. Or it ain't gonna get done by me. Just wasted that time in that board. But like I said, it'll be right once I'm finished. Just wait and see. All right, guys, here we go with take number 2 with the bottom piece of the frame board. Come on, baby. Don't do me like that again. Be good to me. I'm a pretty good old boy. Come on. Oh man, here it comes. Want to break it out. Come on, baby. Don't do it to me 2 times. Twice? Are you kidding me? Ah! Okay, take number 3 on trying to get this 3rd piece of wood that I've cut for this bottom board in freaking place. Don't even do it. I'll freaking stroke out. Oh, thank goodness. Looks like this one's going to work. Don't speak too soon, Tanner. Don't speak too soon, boy. Good God Almighty. You know, this right here is a proof in point of why a half-asser has life made easy, because they wouldn't have nobody took the time to do what I just did. Just wasted nearly I forget what I paid for that board yesterday. I just wasted it, but you done heard me. It'll be right once I'm finished. Look at that. That's what I was going for right there. Yeah. Thing getting in there good. Ain't gonna get no tighter than that. Alright. You know, I always like to check and make sure that my line is flush, which I can already tell that it is. And that is what I'm going to run with, guys. All right, guys. Now that I've finally gotten this bottom board in place, just like I wanted it, nice and flush all the way along the bottom. Next, I like to cut the top piece. So I'm getting ready to measure that. That way, once that top is in place, I can put these side pieces in, and that will actually help assist and hold that in place. Guys, once I'm finished, they're never coming out. Okay, guys, just finished cutting this top piece. I always think the top's a little tougher going up. All right, boy, that fit perfect though. All the way out here on the outside platform. Alright, I'm going to have to anchor these in with mortar screws, guys. What do you know? Freaking battery's dead. God, ain't one thing, it's the other. Be right back. Okay, guys. Just got us another brand new, freshly charged drill. Oh yes. Now let's try this again. I don't want to jinx myself, but I was going to say it'd probably be pretty funny for you guys if I dropped this on my face. Come on, baby. God almighty. Any of you think building crawl space doors is easy? Shit. Y'all ain't never built one. Y'all ain't never built one. Ain't nothing easy about this right here. Aggravating's the word for it. Now let's try. See if we can get a freaking mortar screw up in this. Alright. Come on, baby. Get in that hole. always like to use these Tapcon blue mortar anchors. Don't fall, please don't fall. Yeah, but guys, if you'll usually screw those things into the wood, if you drill your hole deeper than your screw, then once you screw those things in, if you just keep screwing, it'll sink that down into the wood and strip off on its own for you. Just like that. Okay guys, now we've got our bottom board in place. We've now got our top board in place. Look how perfect that is all the way down through here. That's what you want, that's what you're looking for. We've got that secured in 4 different points. And like I was telling you guys, if you'll over drill that hole longer than what you need, when you go to secure those mortar screws in, they will strip off, not strip off, but they'll come off smooth right here. So they're not protruding anywhere. So when I go to put that next layer of wood on. Getting ready to do the sides next. Here we go. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Couldn't have got that any better than that right there, man. You see guys, that's why I told you I like to put the sides in last. See now, this is resting on top of this bottom piece and is actually holding up this top piece. But don't think for 1 second I ain't going to go ahead and shoot some mortar screws in the side of it just for a little overkill. What happened there was I accidentally drilled into one of the voids, and that screw got in there and it was just stripping. It wasn't catching, so I went in and tapped it on in here just a little bit so that it's flush. Probably go ahead and toenail those in as well here shortly. Okay guys, just now getting the frame finished. Got the frame in place, got it all secured. I'll turn around the camera in here and give you guys. Here we go. Now we've got the top board is in, both side boards are in, and our bottom board. And you'll notice that both side boards are actually secured into the foundation here and here as well. The top board is also secured into the foundation. This bottom board is liquid nailed all underneath. So next step is going to be getting everything ready for the actual door itself. Stay tuned. Okay guys, I took our metal frame that I was working on earlier, went ahead and pre-drilled us 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, so that when I put this back up here in place, this thing is going to probably be more secure than it ever was. And plus that'll give me something to put these 3 rocks that came undone back and help hold them up. So here we go. Looking good. Now, got our holes drilled. Let's get everything lined back up in place. Looks like that's going to be it. Needing an extension to reach them. It's short and wasn't long enough. Come on, baby. Yeah, that's what I needed. I just needed a little longer one, that's all I needed. Better not be laughing. You don't laugh at that foolishness. Come on now. Come on now, YouTube. That's what I was going for right there, guys. All right, give me a second. Let me think about what I got to do next. Now that I've gotten this metal back up in place, I'm going to try to re-secure these 3 rocks that came loose whenever I was getting all that framework out. So they went just like that right there. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and get us some liquid nail up here all over our pre-cleaned block. I'm not going to be stingy with it, I know that. Probably use all this tube and some of another. I would say this ledge would probably be enough to hold them, but you know I'm the king of overkill, baby. I figure whenever you get something good enough, you might as well do it just a little bit better than that. So that's what we'll just go ahead and do right now. By the way, you guys are not going to believe this crawl space whenever I get this door finished, which is still going to be a while. I've got to shoot a finished video of our latest crawl space encapsulation, so stay tuned for that on the channel. Subscribe, guys, hit like, come join us on Facebook, facebook.com/Tennessee Technicians. And you know where to go to see the world's largest crawl space encapsulation video library, crawlspaceartist.com. Trying to finish up getting this liquid nail up here, guys. Getting ready to put our stones back in place. Just blew that all over my jacket. Almost there. Might as well go ahead and use the rest of this too. Don't want those stones coming out. So, let's see here. Okay, finally. Guys, since I've been with you last here, a lot of stuff has happened. My phone went dead, so I wasn't able to film the largest portion of the stuff that I was doing. So to bring you up to date, I had to double up these sideboards. Remember the first one was just about right here, so I had to make those doubles on both sides. So y'all didn't get to see that. This hollow block that was showing here, instead of just leaving that exposed because that old piece of metal was covering it, I got some of this stone at Lowe's, and we put that in place. These screws right here are just holding that up till all that cures. Got all the latches installed. Check out how good it's closing now. I always like for these doors to close super tight. Remember, the other biggest thing that we do on top of crawl space encapsulations is wildlife removal. You don't want any gaps around these crawl entries. So when I close this bad boy, man, that is nice. Solid, man. It's so tight that whenever I turn this, check this out. See that? It wants to pop open on its own. That's nice, man. This one turned out really, really great. And then on the inside here, you'll see this inside form board that I've had to do. This actually stops that door from closing back, keeps it in place right here. If it went back any further than that, it wouldn't seal as tight as what it does. So there you have it, guys. Let me close it up one more time. Latch it. I'll be removing those screws later. Like I said, I'm going to let that cure up for the time being. And whoa, just about fell backwards. There's you guys a finished shot. And this is on the side of the house anyways, guys. I mean, this is over here, you know, actually hidden, but that stone that I picked out is a little light, but that looks better, I think, than the hollow block showing. If they don't like it, we can go with something else. But anyways, there you guys go. Brand new crawl door build. Man, and now that I've got that finished, I'm getting ready to load all this stuff up here, pick all this garbage up, and then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do a brand new crawl space encapsulation tour for everyone to see. And got to finish up a little bit of cleanup right here at the entry. Got to finish up getting the poly secured to the doorway there. And once that's complete, get ready, guys. You're going to see it. And I really believe that this is going to be the best job that we have ever done. You've heard me say that before, but guys, we keep looking up and getting jobs that are the perfect conditions. I mean, this job's flat and level. Just wait. Really think it's going to be the best one we've ever done. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.